Well, B2B requires a completely different approach than B2C. B2C, you're trying to reach everyone most of the time. And even if you have a segmented audience, like let's say that you're makeup, and so your primary audience is women, so you've reduced it to 50% of the world. And now you maybe only want to target women between 18 and 40. You've still reduced it to 25% of the world. So a shotgun approach works perfectly for that. You know, you can reach most of those people on Instagram and Facebook. You can do a really broad campaign. And the way that you speak to that consumer audience is quite different as well, because a consumer wants to be romanced. They want to be danced with, and they'll take the time for that. When you look at a B2B brand, it's completely different because, first of all, your purchases are usually much higher dollar. They are always an investment. They are never just an expense. And so if I'm selling $1 million machines, I have a very limited audience of who can A, utilize those machines, who needs them, who can afford them. And so it starts there, and then the way that they research, and we'll talk about that later, but the way that they research their investment is really different than the way that a consumer does. It's much more necessary. There are 8 different buying points, touch points that you have to touch a business at before they're going to actually convert, which is also why my approach has almost always been, let's do organic for B2B. Let's educate people. Let's be a thought leader. Let's position ourselves so that we're the answer to your question when you're doing your research. And then let's supplement that with paid. But paid is not the same investment for a B2B company that it is for a consumer, because consumers are shopping. And so e-commerce paid ads are the most effective that there are, because I'm shopping. I want a water filter for my GE refrigerator. You showed it to me. I'm buying it. I'm looking for $1 million machine to solve a problem. I'm not looking for $1 million machine that's a commodity. I'm looking for something to solve a problem and that's going to last 30 or 40 years. So it's a much bigger investment on my time, my pocketbook, and I also usually have to sell it upstream.